E309 glides across NS's Appalachia district whilst running trackage routes to Kingsport. More on that coming up next. The sound of a horn broke the silence throughout Pennington Gap as we jumped out of the truck. We wasn't for sure whether or not the train had already passed, and had opted to stake it out trackside for around a half hour to try our luck. Lo and behold, E309 soon came barreling towards us, having already worked Hagen's switchback after a late start out of Lowell earlier that morning. Hey y'all, and welcome back to another Railfan Micah Turner adventure. Today, we are in pursuit of E309 as it traverses NS's Appalachia district, running via trackage routes between Big Stone Gap, Virginia and Kingsport, Tennessee. After catching the train in Pennington, we leapfrogged the consist to Duffield to allow us a little time to plan out our shots. It wasn't long before the pair of DC Gevos crossed ahead of us as they began their climb upgrade towards Sunbright. At Bootleg Trestle, E309 crosses Stock Creek on its approach to Natural Tunnel. This part of the line typically sees at least one move by both NS and CSX every day, depending on coal trains dispatched for Eastman Chemical, as well as the NS local that works a few industries nearby. We didn't want to end the chase just yet, so rather than hiking down to the tunnel, we set up just south at Glenita as the remainder of the train snakes through the 8th wonder of the world. With the slower speed coming out of Natural Tunnel, we bought enough time to set up for a unique shot at Copper Creek. E309 passes over the former Southern trackage here, yet in a few hours we'll head back north on home rails via the former Clinchfield up above. Let's take a look at E309's routing. With the damage done by Hurricane Helene last September, several trains have had to find alternate routes to access their destinations, part of that routing shown here in red. Rather than continuing to add to congestion around Queensgate Yard in Cincinnati or the yellow route, the occasional Georgia Power train for typo will instead be routed via the CV to Kingsport, or the blue route, then back north and up the Big Sandy before accessing the E&BV near Prestonsburg, where it will then run west towards Hazard. This graphic gives you a good idea of how the routing works and how these trains are getting where they need to be. On the note of Georgia Power, these trains service their Plant Bowen near Stillsboro, Georgia. For the sake of simplicity, CSX refers to them as Stillsboro trains, however Plant Bowen is their actual destination. After pacing E309, we set up at Gate City where the tracks cross US 23 before making the approach to Yuma and Frisco. Afterwards, we head down into Kingsport to catch the train on arrival, where we also found the Spirit of Birmingham idling on the power track.
4, it'd be good to give us a little room there and a couple of minutes. There, what's it look like back there, Al? P&E. So you got one, where's the cross? Yep, you got it. I'm up there about a car. I'm up there about a car.
Once in Kingsport, the Lowell crew would run around the train before swapping places with the Kingsport crew for the journey north. With the daylight quickly fading away, we ventured back to Copper Creek to watch the consist head north. In the next video, we will follow another E309 on the next leg of the journey from here to Shelby, so stay tuned. Thank you all for tuning in to this chase on NS's Appalachia District. If you liked what you've seen, consider subscribing so you don't miss the next one. Until next time, from the coalfields, this is Railfan Micah Turner. God bless y'all.
Mm-hmm.